Hi everyone. Thank you for your patience as I get set up here. There we go. I just need to post in my Discord. I think, Ooh, you can see my arm. Y'all, it is quite warm today. So I apologize if I am hot and sweaty. And Adventures Pack self-promo. Boom. Hi. Hi everyone. How is everyone doing? I am here. I am surviving. I am adjusting my camera. I don't have my mic on right now. Rowan, buddy. Sorry, Rowan is knocking on my tripod. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm just working on stuff today. Rowan, buddy, you are not a cameraman. I apologize, everyone. Rowan, stop. We're just gonna move out of the way. Oh my god, Rowan. This is not for you, sir. Goodness gracious. He just kept inching closer. But yes, how is everyone doing? I am good. Life is fine. I am currently working on the Vipers in the Ivy dress shirt. So I've finished smocking the two sleeves. I haven't done the actual pressing or ironing of the sleeves yet, but I've at least gotten all of them smocked. So you can see this is the smocking. I might have to not be backlit for this. Let's do this. Yeah, that's much better. So you can see here, this is the cuff of the sleeve. This is the shoulder of the sleeves that is going to get gathered. So it'll be like a nice floofy cap. And both of the sleeves have been smocked. So all I need to do is smock the back yoke. So that's what I'm currently working on. I can kind of give you an update on what I've been up to. There will be a video out probably by the end of this week or early next week on the dress shirt. Depends on how much time I have on Friday to work on this. I have a couple more hours to work on it today, and we'll see how far I get. the smocking takes a while. So it's not something that is super flippin' quick. So yes, on each of the panels that I'm smocking, I used interfacing, double-sided interfacing, to put a piece of white bamboo fabric. It's an old bed sheet, actually. I got it at a thrift store. To stabilize this part of the fabric, and it makes it way easier to mark the spots where I need to smock things. So that's what I've done, and at this point, I'm just doing the going through the motions essentially of smocking the fabric. So you can see I've already gotten 2 rows done on the back panel, and it's not too bad. So it's just a nice chill process. I figured we could chat as I work on this, kind of talk about upcoming projects. And oh, something else. I made myself a leather thimble. Yes, it looks kind of like discolored skin, because technically that's what it is. This is vegetable tanned leather. It's fairly flexible, but it's, I would say, like 1/8 of an inch thick, 3 mil. Maybe, no, it's thinner than that. Maybe 2 mil, 1.5 mil. And what it does is it helps protect my finger from the back end of my needle as I'm pushing it in. And it's come in clutch. It has been very, very handy. So, yeah. I worked on that this week a little bit. I have also been tumbling rocks. So, I guess it was, so not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before last, I went on a rock hounding trip with one of my good friends. And we went to Gem Hill in Rosamond, California. It's very much near the southwestern edge of the Mojave Desert. Not too far away from where we live. It was like an 1.5-hour drive each way. So like long enough that it was a day trip. Like we went and we spent about 6 hours rock hounding, found some great stuff. And by rock hounding, I mean rock collecting. A lot of people didn't know the term rock hounding. Rowan, you are being a pain in the arse today. God. Yeah, so found a lot of great stuff. And in my tumbler right now, I have some red jasper. I think it's red jasper. It's some sort of jasper. It might be rhyolite, but everything that I keep seeing about rhyolite, this is not, I don't know. It's an area where the rhyolite comes from, but it's not as grainy as rhyolite. It's a lot more waxy, like a jasper would be. But every time I look up rhyolitic jasper, something else comes up. So, I don't know. I am still a novice when it comes to rock hunting and rock tumbling. Yeah, I can get one more smock out of this. I sure as hell can. And I'm taking off my shoes. I had to drop something off at the post office, so I just came back from that. And it is nice and warm out there. far cry from the rain of this last weekend. But the rest of the week has been nice. Alright, just gonna bury my thread. I will say, behind me, where my coffee mug is, I have a bunch of the other rocks that I hounded. Some of them are destined to be tumbled. Others are just specimen pieces that I still need to figure out what they are. But I decided I'm just going to keep them up on my table for a little bit while I figure out what I'm going to do with them. Go. In other cool news, and by cool I mean just like plans for my future, for the future of this channel and future projects. So I am coming up on basically the midway and just over midway point on the Vipers and the Ivy project. Like, it is not in the final stages of the project, but it's kind of getting there. So obviously I'm thinking about like what I want to do in the future, what other things I have plans for. And I think I want to update some old projects. So I think 2023 and 2024 is my coming back to myself era. And I think what I want to do is revisit some old projects. Kind of like this Vipers and the Ivy project is revisiting an old jacket that I wove and made. And I really enjoyed it, but it definitely did not have all of my best skills part of it. So I want to revisit a couple more projects. There's one called The Violence of Butterflies that I made using recycled sari silk, and some of it being shot silk, which is kind of iridescent. And I think I'm actually going to take that dress apart and like remake it into a jacket for myself. I love outerwear, and it's something that I feel comfortable making and wearing. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take it apart, cut it apart, reclaim all the fabric, and repurpose it in a similar style but done better. So, and yes, it's going to be another butterfly jacket. I'm apparently obsessed with butterflies again. I mean, always. I've always been obsessed with them ever since I was a kid. So, I think I mentioned this before. I thought I was going to be a butterfly scientist, a lepidoptologist. And then I realized you can't really focus on that usually. Sometimes you can. But I don't know. I'm one of those people that has always gone through multiple phases in their life of what they think they want to do. But yeah, the dress has a base of like this really pale creamy beige sari silk strips, and then I folded origami butterflies out of the shot silk and used those to create the bodice and the back of, well, so the bodice, the whole bodice, the front and the back of the bodice. And I think it turned out well, but I can definitely, like, looking back at the photos of that project, I can see where I could have done it better, and just where my skills weren't up to par as they are now. Most of that dress was hand sewn, The butterflies were top stitched with the machine, and I kind of wish I hadn't done that. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm just gonna unpick it, salvage as much of the fabric as I can, and redo it, and make it into something that I would wear or somebody else would wear. Because I think where it is right now, I'm not sure anybody would actually wear it. It's not particularly interesting. Well, it is interesting. It's not particularly trendy. It's not beautiful enough to be on a red carpet. It's not clubby enough to be like at Coachella or anything like that. So it's just a style that I don't think I would do anymore. So I'd rather it not be in a garment bag in my closet. I'd rather be able to get some life out of it. So I think that's the next project after Vipers and the Ivy. And I hope y'all are enjoying these longer form projects where it's taking me multiple episodes to work through it, because that's how I work. As much as I love doing a quick and dirty project, I don't find them that interesting to film or to put out there in the world. And I don't want to feel pressure of trying to distill like 9 months of work into a single video. Because I feel like, A, that cheapens the project, and then I can't get into as much detail as I can. So who's reacting with all those hearts? That's adorable. Almost just skipped a scale. My quest to getting to 10,000 subscribers is also going well by the end of the year. We are very, 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 very close right now. And it's very exciting. I am 60 away from 8,000. So this might actually happen. God, I gotta say, this leather thimble has made this process way less painful and way more efficient. I thought this was gonna be really tough because these are 1/2-inch scales compared to the 1-inch scales on the jacket. The difference is, though, this fabric is far easier to sew through. The other stuff was very thick, very, very chunky. Here, so I should tell you what I'm gonna do with those polished rocks. So because I have what I'm fairly certain is jasper in the tumbler right now, along with some other pieces of stuff, my plan is to turn some of those into some pendants. I really think that that would be neat. So keep an eye out for that. I'm gonna make some polished rock pendants that I'll probably put up on my website. I just put the rocks in for round 2, second step of polishing. So the first step is the really coarse grit, and what that does is it just roughly shapes your rocks so they're not as jagged. They're a little bit more round, so it's like a really abrasive grit. So step number 2 is a little bit finer. It's still kind of a shaping grit, but what it does is it smooths any of the other rough edges before you start the polishing, or I guess the pre-polish and then the polish stage. So the pre-polish stage will probably be another week after this, and then the polish stage will probably be 2 weeks. So in basically 4 weeks, because I just put the rocks in for step 2 yesterday, and they need another week for that. My guess is, yeah, in another 3.5 weeks or so, I'm gonna have some finished, polished rocks. Some really interesting results coming from just step 1. The stuff that I found had very fine bands in it. So it's very, very interesting stuff. Not at all like anything I've ever seen before. So that's what I love about rock hounding out here in California, is because the geology out here is fairly different compared to the geology in Colorado, where I'm from. So it's been fun to learn like some new stuff, some new rocks. Found a lot of chalcedony and carnelian and some jasper, and then some other just like weird stuff. I think some of it might be tuff, Tuff, which is a type of volcanic rock. But I found one that I want to call coconut jasper because it has kind of like a glassy brown body with a white husk. So it reminds me of like if you did a cross section of coconut. Yeah, I can do one more, and then I need to cut a new piece of thread. Best not to push it. Mitchie! How are you? Hi, Mitchie. It's good to see you in chat. I know you've been following along with my rock polishing journey. But I'm good. I am kind of tired. I got home very late from work last night. Ow, frick. God, I stab myself so often when I'm doing this. But yeah, other than that, I'm doing fairly well. I have my lifeblood, as Xanite likes to say, so I've been drinking that all day. I need to drink more water, though, for sure. Okay. Hey, Abe, how are ya? You know, if I bleed on the fabric, it's fine. The exterior is black. If there's a little blood on the inside, you know, it's like a little bit of a blood tribute to the project gods, to the sewing gods. That way the rest of the project will go well. But I'm doing well, Abe, thank you. I'm glad that you're doing well. Ooh, here's something that I'll probably put in my Instagram stories or maybe on the community tab here. This shirt is going to need buttons. So I'm going to figure out which buttons in my stash would work best with this. I have figured that I'm going to do like a collar cravat combo for the collar because the jacket has a high collar. So I also want the shirt to have a high collar. I think if I had a really low collar or like a modern collar, it just wouldn't look right. So we're doing like a cravat style built-in collar. But yeah, the front is going to need buttons. And I may need to do buttons on the cuffs as well. Because even though I did the right measures, the right measurements for my wrist and forearm, I think it would look cooler to have buttons up the closure. So, yeah. Am I RPing later? Yeah. Melos Machina tonight, everybody. If you are going to be awake at 7 p.m. Pacific time, I know that our international audience can usually only make the very beginning of the show. Melos Machina tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific. We have adventures to go on, so I'm very, very excited. I think it's the last episode of the month. I think next week is the last Wednesday of the month, so we're always off on the last Wednesdays, so we can rest and recoup. I know all of us have been running pretty ragged recently. Those of you who haven't heard, Emmy and Scott's cat, Sammy, has been not doing so hot lately, so they've been very, very tired getting him to and from vet appointments and taking care of him. So, my guess is it's going to be a shorter episode tonight. I'm not 100% certain, but it kind of just depends on where we go and what we do. So, last week we fought a bunch of spiders, including what I believe are called phase spiders. Or surpriders, as I accidentally said during the show last week. But hey, it made sense, so yeah, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to get up to tonight. We have lots of things on our to-do list. So, and then tomorrow night, I'm playing a lot of D&D this week. Tomorrow night, I am playing in the D&D game at the shop, where my character, who has been dead for 8 months, both IRL and in-game, is likely getting resurrected, but chances are there's going to be complications. So, that's exciting. And then on Friday night, we have the Gauntlet at 7 p.m. Pacific time over on the Adventurous Pack Twitch channel. Also here on YouTube, actually. We just started multi-streaming to both Twitch and YouTube, so you can watch it either here or on Twitch. The benefit of it being now on YouTube, on the Adventurous Pack channel, is the VOD is automatically available after the show. So, how very exciting. But yes, Friday is the Gauntlet. We have a special guest. Her name is Megan, and she is one of the players on my Thursday night D&D group. So she is absolutely fabulous. She's a great actress and a wonderful, just like, such a fun role player. It's such a privilege to play at the table with her every so often. So, very, very excited to see what she brings on Friday. I have no idea And we're going into some new rooms on Friday as well. So, also very exciting. I need to remember to take my short rest on Friday. Gotta do some heels. But yeah, if y'all haven't caught up with Melos Machina, we have up to episode 14 up here on the Adventurers Pact YouTube channel. So you can catch up there. We're going to get episode 15 and 16 up shortly. We're just a little bit delayed with that. But that will be up soon. This is such a meditative process. Like, I'm kind of addicted to this now, and I'm going to be doing a lot more of this in the future. Everyone's going to get sick of it. They're going to be like, stop. Do something else. I'm going to be like, nah. No, when I get to the remake of the Violence of Butterflies project, I'm still doing origami, but it will be different. Do you get time to Minecraft? I do! I've been playing I guess it's a mod pack called Vault Hunters. And it's kind of like an RPG, but make it Minecraft. The problem is, if I play too much, it makes my shoulder really sore. And I'm trying to save my shoulders for sewing and for work. So I can only play like an hour or so every few days without getting like really tight in my shoulder. So yeah, but I'm having a blast. I'm really excited for the new update, the 1.20.5 update. So I'll probably do a vanilla world there. I wish I could stream it better, but my setup just does not allow for good streaming. I might need more RAM in my computer, but if you want me to post screenshots and stuff in my Discord, then let me know. But yeah, if you haven't played Vault Hunters, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It adds another layer to Minecraft, so if you feel burnt out on building or exploring, you can run vaults. And you have to build farms to run the vaults. So like it brings a whole other dynamic to the game that I really have been enjoying. I haven't played any of the 1.6 Stardew Valley update though, because I know if I start, I'm gonna get sucked in, and it'll be one of those days where it's like, oh, did I just stay up until 3 a.m.? Yeah. The answer will be yes. I know you've been playing a lot of that, Mitchie. Yeah, how is it? How is it? Like, obviously don't do any big spoilers, but do you feel like it's added enough to make it feel like more dynamic and more interesting? Your sleep patterns are so screwed. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. It's still absolutely mind blowing to me that Concerned Ape just developed that whole game. Like, dude, what the heck? It's completely revamped. Wow. Oh, especially late game. Ooh! Shoot, maybe after Melos tonight maybe I'll download the new patch, like the update, before Melos, and then when I come home, maybe I'll start a new game. And maybe I'll finally romance Elliot or Leia. Because in my personal game, I married Emily, which is wild. She is a hoot and a half. Um, and then obviously in my streamed game, I married Shane because I can change him. But I've always been interested in Elliot and Leia. That's great. Ooh. Ooh, and I can try the new farm type. Yes, 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 yes. The new farm is great. Yes. There's a new festival. Oh, what? Yay! I love new festivals. I love celebrating things. Whoa, 3 new festivals? What? 2 fishing and one. Okay, so I love fishing. In like any game, I love fishing. Which is silly because I don't fish in real life. Um, but I do love a fishing minigame, so the fact there's 2. Ah! Damn it. Damn it, Mitchie. How dare you? How dare you? No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the breadcrumbs. I know I can always count on you uh, to, oh, what's the word? Enable. To enable people with Stardew Valley. You did not mention that. You did not. You didn't. Yeah, I haven't caught Emmy's Saturday stream in a long while because I always work. And it's hard to put people up on the big screen these days because we're so busy on Saturdays. Um, and when I'm pouring, I can't pay attention anyway. So like I haven't been able to catch their playthrough as much. No, Mitchie, no bad at all. I'm not like super militant about spoilers. Like I don't want big spoilers, but knowing that there's some new content like that makes me more excited to play the game again. So don't ever worry about that kind of info. Or were you saying my bad about the enabling? Also, guys, listen to that. Oh, so good. I love scissors ASMR. And Ginger makes the best damn scissors. Please sponsor me, Ginger. Give me all of your scissors. I do need to make a leather sheath, I think, for those, because I bring them with me on the train a lot in my bag, and I know that it's just a matter of time, before they slice through both bags that I put them in and accidentally stab me or another person. And I don't really want them to stab another person unless I need to. Nah, the train is safe. Oh, also, I should show you. I talked about this at the very beginning of the stream, but I made a leather thimble. I was inspired by Bernadette Banner, who is another costumer here and historical costumer on YouTube. And she made one of these a long time ago, and I was like, oh my god, someday I'm gonna make one. And I finally did. So I made one to fit my middle finger here, just up to the knuckle. But on the inside, I cut a little curve so it's comfortable as I bend my finger. And it's very nice. One of these days I do want to make my own pair of gloves, but I think I would need to get another piece of leather because I only have scraps right now. But I know how to make my own pair of gloves, and I think that would be cool. So but yeah, it has saved my finger. Like, I was absolutely chewing up my fingertip on the first sleeve that I did, and the first, like, third of the other sleeve. And I was like, I'm very tired of peeling layers of skin off of my finger because I've jammed the back end of my needle into my finger about, a few hundred times. Because while I don't mind sacrificing a few drops of blood, I do mind sacrificing my entire fingertip. That is not ideal. I did debate on doing a dragon scale on the collar, and I decided no. I think that would be too much. So I think I'm just going to do a plain, like, reinforced collar for sure, like a stand collar. And then where it comes around the front, so probably like right here and here, from there out, I'm just gonna have it be very flowy fabric. So no stabilizing, no interfacing. That way I can get a really nice, like, voluptuous bow. I think I'm also going to do French seams, or at least enclosed seams on this shirt. Meaning I need to finally fix my serger. Because I'd like to serge the edges before I do that, because this fabric has a tendency to fray that I don't appreciate. And having stuff fray as you're trying to do a French seam or an enclosed seam is real flippin' annoying. I also need to figure out how to do that properly with a gathered sleeve cap, because these are going to be quite gathered. I added a lot of volume in the top of that sleeve cap. Not the most volume, like this is not a leg of mutton sleeve, although it kind of looks like a leg of mutton sleeve a little bit. It's not as wild as some of those Edwardian sleeves got. Some of those looked like you could fit a small child in them. And maybe they did. Maybe that's where they were hiding children. I don't know. It's where the nanny put them. Oh, you've been quite naughty. Time to go back into the sleeve, child. Think about what you've done and then I'll let you out. The kitties are good. Rowan is currently sleeping over on the other chair. And I bet Beans is either under the bed right now or in the window in my bedroom. That's usually where she hangs out around this time of day. So But yeah, they've been good. There's certainly days where they drive me up a wall, but most of the time they're very cuddly and sweet, so worth it. Rowan was trying to be my cameraman earlier when I first started this stream. He kept, brushing his face against the handle of the tripod and kept moving the tripod. Rude. He is no Ken Burns, is all I'll say. He's more of a Michael Bay. I'm excited to see how this piece turns out in actuality. Because it's one thing to do a test swatch, which I have somewhere, than to actually do the full scale piece. But I know I'm going to have to do shaping along the hem, just because of the way that this fabric is getting cinched up in the middle, but not as much on the sides. So it'll be interesting. But I'm gonna wait to figure that out until after I try it on. The amount of math and geometry that has gone into this project is quite intense. Quite intense. Because I had to figure out how much fabric I would have to add in very specific areas to create the smocking, right? And then had to think about how that would be affecting the other parts of the pattern piece. And for the sleeves, it worked out perfectly, beautifully. The way that the ratios worked, I was like, wow, this is great. For the back panel, it's adding a lot more volume to the back than I was expecting, but I also had to make sure I didn't add any volume to the underarm where the panels will attach to the shirt, the sleeves. So, yeah, lots of lots of figuring has gone into this. It's fun. It's part of the puzzle, right? Okay, so I have 4 more rows before they start decreasing in number of stitches, so that's great. Very exciting. Stop getting tangled, please. Thank you. Yeah, I lost count of how many hundreds of dots I marked on the back of this fabric. Too many is the answer. That car sounds like it's had a better day. Just realized I think I'm gonna have to top stitch, or at least basting stitch, I should say, before I cut any fabric off around the neck hole and the armhole. Because otherwise my stitches will come loose. Glad I'm thinking about this stuff now. Because that would be quite frustrating. Putting in the dozens of hours of work, and at this point hundreds of hours of work into this whole project, just to make one wrong cut and then ruins. And then, after the shirt, I just need to be brave and start working on the pants. I'm gonna make a muslin out of some linen that I have. But I am quite nervous because I have not made a fitted pair or a tailored pair of pants yet, and certainly none that have come out particularly well. So yeah, I'm a little nervous. But I have faith that I'll get through it. I've decided I'm gonna do a side zip on the pants so I don't have to figure out a fly. Because that's one of the parts that I think is most confusing for me, is like how to account for the overlap in fabric without creating something that looks horrid, you know? And I've never inset a zipper, like a fly zipper before. So I'd probably do buttons. But I have a pair of pants that I found at a thrift store that has a side zip, and I really like it. It's very comfortable. The front lays flat, which is nice. The one thing I hate about those pants is they're plaid, and because they are fast fashion, I did get them at a thrift store, so it's not like I bought these firsthand, but because they're fast fashion, the print doesn't line up in the front, and it drives me batty every time I look at them. But there's no way to fix them without cutting new pants, and I don't have that fabric. So, can't really do that. But they did inspire me to do a side zip on these other pants. And I think I'm gonna use the cutoffs from the other dragon scale smocking that's on the shoulders of the jacket as like hip details. And I think that would look really cool. And should add some reinforcement to that area. I'm definitely going to have to reinforce the fabric because it's not meant for anything as heavy duty wearing as pants, like around the waist and the butt. For the legs, it'll be fine as long as I don't, brush up against anything super abrasive. People really need to not drive this fast in this neighborhood. This outfit is not technically for anything in particular. It is a re-exploration of an old project I did a few, probably 6, 7 years ago now. Maybe only 6. I'd have to look at what year I did that. But I may, if I can finish this before the Met Gala, this will be my Met Gala project for the year. The theme of this year's Met Gala is Garden of Time. And I always like to do a piece inspired by the Met Gala every year. Even though the chances of me ever going are slim to none. Maybe in the future, I don't know. But it's always fun because this is kind of when you get to explore couture a little bit more. And it's really one of the only events that you get to explore that. So it's always fun to play around with the theme. The last couple of years have sucked. It was American fashion, kinda. But yeah, Garden of Time, I think, is really interesting. And it's a fundraiser put on by the Costume Institute at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. I do have a lot of criticism for the event and for some of the people that run it. But I do think that it does a good thing overall. It has a net positive effect. And I think they're trying to do better. But I'd like to see more actionable change in leadership. So. And I'd like to see more celebrities and designers actually like work with the concept of the Met Gala. Last year it was like Karl Lagerfeld, and he was like a Nazi sympathizer. So even though he was a very well respected designer, um, not my cup of tea. I'm also not a huge fan of his work with Chanel. I think Chanel is a very outdated brand, and they basically just show the same kind of fabric in the same kind of silhouettes over and over and over again, and I feel like it hasn't really updated since Jackie O. She wore a lot of Chanel, and kind of her iconic pillbox hat and skirt and jacket set is kind of what Chanel has always been known for. And I just haven't seen it change since. So we'll see if the new creative director does anything in the future, but I don't know. Coco Chanel is also problematic. So I'd much rather support other design houses and designers who are actually pushing boundaries and doing it in an ethical way. Like, I'm pretty sure I talk about this every year around the Met Gala. It's just like, I want people to fall in love with the art of fashion again and what it means to create a piece of wearable art. And there are very few designers, I think, that actually do that. Um, Notably, I think Christian Siriano usually does a great job with it when he does do stuff for the Met Gala. Um, Iris Van Herpen is an amazing designer. She's one of my absolute favorites. Back in the day, Alexander McQueen, when he was still alive, I think that the design house is kind of going back to those roots with the new creative director. Schiaparelli, I think, does some good stuff. Moschino is kind of all over the place. Sometimes it's like, oh wow, you really hit this out of the park, and then other times I'm like, you phoned it in, bud. But what can I say? I'm just a lowly designer that makes clothing pretty much only for themselves. No, I am very passionate about what I do, and my work is also not for everyone, and that is okay. And I have a very different ethos for why I do what I do. And I'm not looking to be the next Alexander McQueen or Jeremy Scott or Dior. But damn it, I'm gonna do what I love and stick to my guns while I do it, no matter how big or small I am. And if that means spending months and months and months on one outfit, I'll do it. If that means weaving my fabric from scratch, I'll do it. That means using an old bed sheet. I'll do it. Right now, I'm lucky enough to have a day job that I really like and pays me well enough that in my free time, I can do projects like this. And hopefully, eventually, I can monetize my YouTube so I can have even more of a budget to work with. Because I do have some big plans, but getting the right materials costs money. Yeah, exactly, Mitchie. It's not a bad place to be at all. I mean, heck, even if I had all the money from my YouTube stuff, I would still work at my day job because I love it. And it's a great team. And that's all I can ask for. Whoa. There we go. Some other things I want to do this year. So after this project and after the Violence of Butterflies project, I'd like to do like a bracket of some of my old quote but make it fashion projects, and whichever one wins the bracket is one that I'll make in real life. Because there were a lot of projects that I thought were really cool, but they're all sketches. So I need to figure out like how to do that. I don't know if I should do it just here on YouTube or if I should do it in Instagram stories. And I need to figure out like what. Yeah. So I would get people to vote on them. And maybe I'll do it like weekly. So each week is 2 different garments. And then by the end, there'll be a winner and then I'll start it. I'd probably get more traction on Instagram stories. But I am trying to like increase the traffic here on YouTube as well. Like build my community here. Because it's wild to think I've been doing YouTube for 14 years. Like, that's a long time. And for a while, it was a really vibrant community. Um, and then, life happened. I was in a relationship that wasn't quite supportive of it. And I had a job that sucked all of my time out. So I just kind of stopped doing it. And the last couple of years, I've been really focusing on bringing it back. And it takes time and effort to regrow an audience and regrow engagement, which is why I've been doing more lives here as well. Like, as much as I love Twitch for all of that, interactivity, Twitch, once the live stream is over, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't continue to get views on that unless you're a partner, and to become a partner is very difficult. YouTube, the videos stay here, and the content stays here, and the audience stays here. I could do an AP multi-stream, I think. But I film on my phone these days, and I'm not sure I can do that. I'd have to find one, like an app from my phone to multi-stream to Twitch and here. Because last time I tried to stream from my computer, it was very glitchy. It was bad, bad quality. And I'm pretty sure I even deleted the replay of it because it was bad. Drink some water. I will say, the one thing about not having a ton of time is I have a ton of ideas for projects I want to do. And as much as I would like, I can't do 5 things at once. It's a bummer. Like, just let me attach 2 to 4 more arms onto my body that can all work independently of one another. Like, is that so much to ask? You know? Is that unreasonable? Like, I'm not asking for gills. Or even invisibility. Like, I just want to do more projects all at the same time. That's all I want, okay? Get with the program, scientists. I want to live my best X-Men life. Speaking of, I need to finish my Gambit cosplay as well. I just need to make the fingerless gloves, basically, and his necklace, and then I'm done. Because I finished the crop top, and it turned out really well. And the fingerless gloves should not take long. I'm pretty sure I have the fabric on hand to do it. So, you know, that would be one of those evening projects to work on. Can you tell I just got hyper focused? 2. And let's see, I've been going for an hour and 26. I think I'm actually gonna end the stream here because I need to get ready. And by get ready, I mean shower and eat before Melos Machina tonight. So let me finish that thread up. I'm also trying to keep the live streams here a little bit shorter than I used to do over on Twitch, because people do not have a 3-hour attention span. They just don't. So here we are. Let's see. It's funny because it's all lopsided right now. This is the top. So I'm working on the left side and going in rows across. So you can see we're almost done with this, but there's still quite a bit left to smock. And this is the other side. So I'll work on this more tonight after Melos. And the next time you see it, hopefully it's mostly done. Hopefully it'll be in the video that I put out in the next week. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for watching today. For those of you who haven't yet, please consider giving this channel a subscribe. I try to do one fairly in-depth video per month on whatever project I'm working on, and then at least 1 to 2 live streams a month. I had to remember what the word was. So please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up as well. And if you do subscribe, turn on the bell icon. That way you get notified every time I upload something. Otherwise, you know where to find me on the internet. You can check the info box down below. And if you want to snag any of my hand-woven, hand-sewn, handmade goods, you can do that at my website, which is benjamincollin.com. And other than that, I will see you all later. You all have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one, which will hopefully be soon. So, big love to you all.